CJ Jupiter, W223CJ West Palm Beach.
Broadcasting live, this is KMA Talk Radio, life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. With your hosts, Honest Abe, the lovely Lady M, and Adam K. the Brewmeister. Listen to the show anywhere in the free world at KMATalkRadio.com.
I like to smoke them like Sir Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning, loyal listeners, libertarians, lovers of the leaf, and everyone across this great nation. Welcome to another exciting edition of KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live on this, the 17th day of February in the year 2018. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. Joining me today, as always, America's host with the most, Honest Abe.
Good morning. We got about 15 weeks to our 300th episode. 15 shows.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
15 shows. We got to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
What month does that put us in?
I believe we
I'm right on top of that, Abe.
I think we calculated it
Yeah,
out.
you're so full of it.
I think it's like the first week of June.
The only thing you're on top of is a cheeseburger lately.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah, you know. It puts us in June. Is that what 15 weeks out puts us?
Pretty close. I think the last time we looked at it, it was like early June.
4, 5,
But it's going to be an interesting show today. George Rico of Gran Habano Cigars will be here. And Elsie May, the grandson of Clyde May's moonshiner, whiskey extraordinaire, founder of Clyde May's Alabama-style whiskey.
It should be cool to speak to him, man. A lot of history there with him and his family. So
Absolutely.
there's authentic, original American bootleggers.
Bootlegging, moonshining.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His grandfather was actually arrested
Yeah.
for moonshining, so it'll be cool to hear the stories.
It'd be very cool. Are they bringing booze?
Of course.
When have
better.
you known our friend Richard Lewis never to show up?
Richard was texting me last night. He's like, "You guys are in a drinking mood, right?"
He was a vague blur at the Great Smoke last week, which, by the way, I would like to say was a fantastic event.
It was awesome.
It really was. Next level stuff. I mean, the South Florida Fairground people came through huge. The venue worked out great. People came from all over the country. There was France and the Middle East, but I think the furthest outside of Canada, the furthest U.S. was Seattle. Somebody came up from Seattle.
Really?
Yeah. That event's starting to draw probably about 60 to 65% of people from out of state.
Yeah, we did a couple of simple votes with the crowd that was outside watching.
Yeah.
The show, the live broadcast,
Yeah.
and I'd say at least 50% of the people were from out of the state of Florida.
Yeah, and it was probably the biggest crowd we've had for our live show, covering the Great Smoke we've ever had.
Yeah, it was big. It was bigger than last year for sure.
It was huge.
Yeah,
it was huge, and they were very interactive this year too.
Yeah,
They
which
weren't
I like.
They weren't like passing out, falling asleep, waiting to get in the event. So
No, they were all smoking cigars, having a good time.
no, it was a great
It was
year,
fun.
and looking forward to next year. That event just keeps getting bigger and better.
Are you?
Yeah, actually, I am. No, I am. Now that we've kind of got the logistics worked out with the fairgrounds, which, anytime you move a venue, especially after 11 years,
So stressful.
to a new place and dealing with people you've never dealt before.
Wow.
And you don't know the reliability, and and it was a lot of no problem, which always petrifies me.
Yeah, you're not.
No
good at that.
problem is just especially when they're in abundance, scares the heck out of me. But no, all the folks at the South Florida Fairgrounds, I doubt any of them are listening this morning, but Annabelle, Alex, Lisa, they were all stellar in making everything just perfect.
Yeah, they were all there to help, and it was a great setup.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the setup too.
No, it was a good event.
And now, let's put it to bed and hopefully not have to talk about it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, probably at least 3 or 4 months.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah. Trust me, already thinking about it. It's going to be a great show. That was the 12th Annual Great Smoke. If you missed it, make sure you go back, check out the archives. You can see all the great stuff that happened there. And last week's live show, and the videos are probably going up next week.
Yeah, next week.
Recap.
Tell you what, really happy that Rhino stepped up their game this year.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, they brought some really attractive women this year.
Oh, they were with Rhino?
Yeah, those are all Rhino girls.
Man.
They had the big tent right in the middle of the...
I know, but they were out in the crowd talking to people,
yeah,
too. I didn't realize...
It's called socializing, Paul.
Oh, man.
I
just thought I was handsome.
It's when you get beyond the bar that's in the Whole Foods. It's socializing. But no, they were actually stellar this year because
the setup was nice, too.
Well, last couple of years, they kind of... I don't know where they bought their talent in from, but it was subterranean. If my breasts are bigger than the girls' breasts, we have
Oh,
issues
no.
at the event.
Every week here at KMA Talk Radio, we like to give great stuff away. We are givers. Every week, our good friends over at Zycar like to give away a Zycar prize. Congratulations to Donald Smith, who took home last week's Zycar prize by putting a caption on the Russian curling chick in black lingerie. If you'd like to take home a Zycar M8 metal cutter in the black on black, which I was selling last week at the Great Smoke, they are sharp looking. Just head over to the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page. Post your best caption on the Trump Box Mobile thing.
Yeah, that's a weird looking box.
I had to take a picture of it when I saw it.
Oh, you took that picture?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Where was that?
I was driving to go pick up my car from the mechanic from getting an oil change, and this car pulled out in front of us, and I was like, what in the world is going on here?
You know what's funny, though? When I first saw this, and I didn't get a chance to read it, you know who I thought that was? I thought that was like Lisa Vanderpump from The Housewives of Orange County. It does look like a little bit like Lisa Vanderpump.
The funny thing
It's
is,
just sad that you know who that is.
on the opposite side, on the driver's side of the box is a photo of Trump that says "Good luck in 2025."
That's inconceivable.
I mean, why 2025?
I have no.
So he's assuming he's winning his next term.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was mind blowing. I couldn't believe it. But somebody wanted to deck their car like that, so we look forward to the captions on that. You could take home a great Zycar M8 cutter by heading over to the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page every week. Scott Weeks and the guys over at Iconic Leaf like to give away a 5-pack of Recluse cigars if you participate in the KMA Iconic Poll of the Week. Last week we asked you, what is the most exciting thing about the Pyeongchang Olympic Games? 23% of you said hockey. A lot of hockey fans out there. 21% of you went with curling.
That's the shocker. I mean, curling is like becoming like the Winter Olympic sport.
Apparently it's on all the time, but I don't know. I haven't seen a minute of it. 19% of you went with bobsleds. 11% said skiing. And 16% said, well, the Olympics are on.
You know what
Rightfully
gets
so.
you know what gets me about the Olympics now is the events. Like, when did this become an event?
Oh,
Like the skiing and the rail sliding and they're like on skateboards sliding down pipe rails and I said, when did this become an Olympic event? Where have I been? And I wonder what it takes to become an Olympic event. So does somebody then take skis and start like skiing on concrete, streets like of San Francisco, and then all of a sudden they say, well, now this is now. I mean, there's guys that sit in a room and say, yeah, skiing on concrete downhill will now be an Olympic event.
well, yeah, they have to go through a trial period, and then they make it a test event. Like in the 80s, they had dance skiing.
What is dance skiing?
Basically, there's videos of people like they're spinning around, dancing. They're going on the skis in the air. They're doing twists and things, all on a very slow incline.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It didn't become an event, but it was a test event for like 4 years. But it can never become
like
popular.
the old Greeks right now are rolling in their graves.
Yeah, pretty much. Congratulations to Dan Beckett of Lakewood, Colorado. He's getting a 5-pack of Recluse cigars. If you'd like a 5-pack of Recluse cigars, head over to the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page and cast your vote in this week's poll. What would you like to see more of on KMA Talk Radio? I thought we were going to change number 1. Didn't change number 1? No?
Might as well run with it.
All right, fine.
No, Abe didn't want to change it last night. He said leave it.
Okay.
I must have been tired. But, I mean, I'm just curious when everybody says, yeah, I want to see what our producer is going to come up with.
We got it.
You gonna bring some more of your like triple off Broadway friends on the show?
Celebrity guests, social media contests and giveaways, live remote broadcasts in your area, behind-the-scenes footage, games, bits, and contests on air. So we'll see what people have to say about what they'd like to see more of here on KMA Talk Radio. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have to talk with George Rico of Gran Habano Cigars and all kinds of other great stuff. We will also, don't forget, new KMA giveaways every single week. You can win great swag and cigars. Awesome and stuff. Just check out the KMA Instagram feed. Participate every week for your chance to take home some great prizes. More great stuff when we come back. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Nat Sherman is the leading American luxury brand in premium cigars. From the classic range of the Metropolitan and Host selections to the transformative Timeless collection, their elegant Sterling and limited edition offerings, or the bold and commemorative 1930 blend Andy Polka. Everyone has the opportunity to enjoy a Nat Sherman experience. Family owned and operated since 1930, Nat Sherman's tradition of innovation and commitment to excellence reminds us why America's Nat Sherman brand is known as tobacconist to the world.
Cigar enthusiasts, Did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Quality and value are always the 2 biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
The recently released Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is an extremely rare blend of Perdomo's finest and most cherished 12-year-old fillers, binders, and wrappers. Bale-aged for 10 years and then barrel-aged in bourbon barrels for an additional 2 years, these exquisite Nicaraguan tobaccos are bursting with rich, complex flavors. Offered in Connecticut, sun-grown, or Maduro, available at only 250 authorized tobacconists worldwide, the Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is a must-have for every cigar enthusiast.
Monte Cristo has set the standard once again, turning back the hands of time by utilizing a long-forgotten, unique aging process that harmonizes the flavors of the wrapper, binder, and filler with the use of small pilones. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured is an exquisite cigar you must try now. Available nationally for the first time, Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured features a 2006 Nicaraguan Rosado Oscuro wrapper that is both beautiful and distinctive. This cigar is a masterpiece no one should miss. Make sure you get one today at your local tobacconist. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. We are here broadcasting live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Honest Abe.
Good morning.
And, there we go.
And who?
And
who we got
George
here?
Rico is sitting here in the studio with us.
Good morning.
Hello, hello, welcome. Going to be our Meet Your Maker today. Not sure if I want to play. Yeah, you know.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
It's time to meet your maker.
Drink more coffee. That's what they always say.
Yeah, you're off today.
I know. Yeah. The legacy of making cigars at Gran Habano is a family affair established in Miami, Florida. Guillermo and George Rico strive for quality in every leaf and cigar production. Honesty and passion is what compels them to make great cigars, married with a sense of originality being the signature of Gran Habano. George, welcome back, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you been?
I'm doing well.
You know,
Thanks for driving up this morning. Our volumes are down, both of us.
There you go. Thanks.
There you go. Thanks for driving up this morning. How long of a drive was it?
About an hour and 10 minutes, something like that.
Are you close to Parkland?
No.
No, not close.
No. I'm in Doral.
Doral? I wasn't sure where you were at.
Yeah.
Here's your coffee. Look at this.
There you go.
Full service.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you, Petra. All right. Yeah, I mean, speaking of down south in Parkland, man, it was crazy this weekend. Really. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you what, I got 4 kids. I sent them to school, and you got kids, too.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, I got 3.
3?
Yeah.
Did you pop out of the third one? I didn't know when the third. How was the third?
I mean, the third one's in college right now, so.
Oh, okay. Because I knew you had little ones.
I have the little one, and the 2 other ones are in college now.
College?
Yeah.
How old are you?
42.
Oh, you started early.
Early,
yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool that, though, you could be in your 40s and have, like, 20-year-old kids that you could, like,
Yeah.
still relate to.
Of course.
I mean, my kids are babies. By the time they're in their 20s, I'll be in a walker and, wearing Depends or something,
Yeah, well, they're 18 and 19, so.
Yeah. How old's the youngest?
6.
Oh, so that was like, oops.
No, that was actually like.
New wife?
We're bored, yeah.
Second wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so that usually does it.
Mm-hmm.
That usually does it. Paul, get ready.
Now, what do you? That's such a curse. Why would you say that? I just got married, George, and he said, "Get ready."
He just got married.
Second or third time?
No, first time.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
How old do I look?
So I'm actually kind of paranoid about sending my kids to school now.
Why?
I don't know. It's just happening too often. And, I tell you what. I mean, actually, my wife and I were just talking about maybe homeschooling. Looking into homeschooling. Paul's shaking his head.
Oh,
I got a friend. I got a friend who's homeschooled all his kids from birth. And when they got to high school, he gave them the choice. You want to continue homeschooling? You want to go to high school now? And the one girl, his oldest, stayed home and graduated. The other boy, who's more into sports, went to high school. And they're all normal, great, balanced kids.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I've never met a homeschool kid that's normal.
Let me ask you something. Did you go to school?
Yeah.
And look at you. You're so far from normal. So what's the
I know how to
difference?
socialize with people. Have you ever
Really?
gone on a date with a girl that's
You hang out with
homeschooled?
Adam.
Have you?
Come on, let's be serious. You guys sat at the bar for 3 hours last night with Adam.
Scott Weeks came
I
out,
could have
too.
had more conversation with a totem pole.
AJ was there.
I think it creates people that are not probably they're
Listen,
socially
I
awkward.
brought that up with my
They're
friend.
socially
Like,
awkward. I've met a lot of people.
I
like
brought
that.
that up. Well, I think it depends on how you do it because he was very active in. They played in all the school teams because you could still go to your public school and take part of the soccer team. So they're all involved in sports.
But you're not there day to day. From 7 in the
But
morning
you know what?
to like
Here's
3.
the
So
problem.
there's a lot of nuances.
But here's
that
the
you can
problem.
miss.
But here's the problem. How much bad stuff do you think happens in the school between influences of bad kids, influences of bad teachers,
bullying?
I mean, I don't know when you weigh it all out where it sets.
It's part of society.
Right, and then when they go into the real world, they've never experienced anything like that, any of those social awkwardnesses, any of those bad things that you're saying can happen, and then they go in the real world and they're in the workplace and they don't know how to handle themselves.
I got news for you. The real world doesn't just pertain to the school zone. My kids take violin, tennis, and something else.
But your kids are
karate.
I forgot. They're in 3 things.
But they are so socialized, and I'm telling you, Abe, it's because they're out there around other people.
Dude, my kids were socialized before they started going to school. You've seen most of them. I mean, you haven't, but the other people have seen them. My kids grew up socialized because we've socialized them in the home. We've taken them out places. We do something. I bring my kids to the radio show. We don't hermitize them in the house.
Right.
I just don't
But
know.
it's to say, I mean, academically, you might teach them. You have this workbook that you get for the semester or whatever, and then you take a test at the end. I mean, who's really teaching them?
No,
Is it someone that went to school?
It's more extensive than that. It's very. It's actually Florida now has become like one of the biggest home schooled states in the country. It's very regimented, and actually there are things you have to do. And actually, look, here's the problem too: is look, you have to be extremely involved as a parent in following the curriculum and the qualifications. But I already was thinking about it. For the money that I spend putting them in private school, I can get a part-time teacher to come to the house 3 days a week and just do the whole homeschooling with them here at home, and probably be cheaper. I just don't know. But the stuff like this freaks me out. And everybody's out there crying about gun control, and and I get a little upset because I just don't think this is a gun control issue, and I don't think it's a platform for gun control issue because there's so many arguments. Paul disagrees with me. The problem is there's something wrong with the kids today. And mentally, we need to address this because the gun's not the illness. These kids, whether it's a gun or some other weapon, if they want to do mass damage or whatever, they'll find a way. And I'll be honest with you, we were just talking about Paul last night.
Yeah.
Illegalizing gun. I told him I can go get an illegal gun in 10 minutes. I can make 2 phone calls and buy a black market gun.
Well, I mean, you're deterring people. Probably that's the way people look at it.
I don't think you're deterring a kid.
Right.
I don't think you're deterring a kid like this. That's my point.
But he did get the gun.
Well,
legally.
listen, I'm also all for making it extremely difficult to
I'm
get a
for
gun.
that. I'm for that.
I think, I without a doubt, and I'm a believer that you have the right to bear arms.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have an AR-15. I have a whole bunch of different weapons, but I think there's got to be some limitations.
Call the FBI.
They're legal, but the thing is that I think really we have to look at how and when these people could acquire.
I believe anyone
should.
anyone is given a gun should have a psychological profile done.
I
don't think that we should issue an arm to anybody who is not of complete sound mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds a little extreme. I believe the same for parenting. I don't think you should be allowed to give birth.
Well, then I couldn't have a kid.
My point exactly.
So
some DNA just shouldn't go any further.
All right. It's been a very interesting week. We know there's been a lot of discussion, and pick to the Facebook page if you want to continue the discussion. We have to take a short break now, and our condolences to all the families and victims of this tragedy, which is most definitely a massive tragedy. We will talk more with George Rico about cigars when we come back right here on KMA Talk Radio. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Joya de Nicaragua proudly announces the release of Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial, a carefully modified recipe containing a unique and exceptional selection of barrel-aged grade A fillers and a beautiful silky shade-grown Habano wrapper. From the legendary Jalapa Valley, produced in small quantities, this exceptional medium to full-bodied cigar will continue to captivate consumers with its rich Nicaraguan complexity, subtle woody and sweet flavors, and a velvety finish. Try a Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial today.
Quality and value are always the two biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Make sure you try all of Caldwell's lines, including Long Live the King, Blind Man's Bluff, and Eastern Standard, which were all awarded 91 ratings by Cigar Aficionado and Cigar Snob. Do not forget the 93 rated King is Dead, which earned a spot in the top 25 cigars of the year last year by Cigar Aficionado. You can find more information by following Caldwell Cigar Company on Facebook. If you're not running with us, run from us. We own the night. Caldwell Cigar Company.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
If you had to pack a go bag, what would go in it? For Pepe Mendez, it was his rare Pilotico tobacco seeds, which he personally carried to the Dominican Republic half a century ago. In tribute, we introduced the Monte Cristo Pilotico Pepe Mendez, a robust cigar with nutty, leathery notes and a slow burn that marks the rebirth of a golden age. Try the new Monte Cristo at your local cigar lounge, and you may want to pack one to go too. Surgeon General warning, tobacco smoke increases the risk of lung cancer and heart disease even in non-smokers.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
CLE Cigar Company presents CLE Cigars, Aroa Cigars, and Asylum Cigars. With 4 generations and over 120 years of experience in tobacco. From seed to smoke, these cigars are produced in Honduras and Nicaragua, with the utmost care and precision possible. CLE Cigar Company introduces a vast array of tobaccos, in various sizes to bring the highest quality of premium tobacco direct for your enjoyment. Visit clecigars.com for more information.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. We are here broadcasting live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, Honest Abe, America's favorite host with the most.
Hello, hello, hello.
And our meet maker today, George Rico of Gran Habano Cigars. George, thanks for being here.
You watching any Olympics?
Yeah.
Really?
A lot. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Are you watching it live, like at night?
Live at night, in the morning.
Really?
I'm a big fan of all sports.
Let me guess. Your favorite is figure skating?
No.
I was just kidding.
No, actually, that's the one sport that I don't like. I just can't get it. I was watching the men's thing with my daughter last night.
Doesn't jive. None of it.
Not
Women,
for
the
me.
men's, none of it jives for me.
I was actually
my wife loves the figure skating. Like I think that's the only thing she does watch, but nothing jives.
This
for
was
me.
the first time ever.
The
I
Winnie the
watched
Pooh's
it.
on the ice, the spinning, the dancing.
I got to tell you,
none of it
the
works.
American guy, the Asian guy, I forgot
Winnie
his
the
name,
Pooh's.
was really good.
Yeah, they were throwing Winnie the Pooh's on the ice.
Yeah.
Really?
The Japanese guy. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I don't know. I thought you were talking about Disney on ice.
No,
'cause
they were,
that I can
they
get
were
behind.
some dude and they were
It's
throwing
a Japanese guy. I saw
Winnie
it
the
for the
Pooh's
first
on the ice.
But the one that I really like is the one that the down slope, whatever it's called, I forgot. These guys are going 75, 80 miles an hour. Dude, it's awesome.
The slalom.
The slalom.
The
yeah,
slalom, yeah, that's insane.
The Super G or whatever
Yeah,
it's
that's
called.
insane.
Dude, those guys.
There's too many
that's
of those.
Crazy.
I love watching a good ski wipeout, though.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, that's because we're raised in the wild world of sports
I was
generation.
just thinking that in my head.
Where Eddie the Eagle
the
goes
music
flying.
was just going on in my head.
There was
for
a
that.
good one this week. The guy that won the medal the next day, someone left a drill on the track or whatever it's called, and the guy hit the inflatable thing, took some coach out. It was crazy.
Wow.
So
I missed that.
it was actually pretty good.
Oh, interesting.
There's I guess women's hockey.
Yeah.
And I caught a glimpse. I guess there's two sisters, but they're playing for two different countries.
Really?
Oh yeah, the Korean one and
Yeah.
the American one.
I think that's gotta
She's
be
adopted. Yeah.
I think that's got to be odd.
Yeah, no, that's got to
gotta
be awesome.
weird.
Come on, you win either way.
I'm gonna check my sister. Bam.
That's probably happened all the time.
I mean, I wonder, do they call it cat fights when they fight in hockey?
Oh, that's messed up.
I don't know.
Where's the rim shot on that one?
Has anyone seen like a women's hockey game yet?
Do they?
I
Or
did
do they
too.
just do the thing?
Wow.
How did that go again?
You know, I would love to see you go
it
against
seems
one of these
It
girls.
seems very natural for you to do, actually.
I would love to see you go against one of these girls to see how good you are.
Adam?
Yeah. In hockey.
He'd
That'd be great.
He'd fall like a redwood.
Oh, they would check him so hard.
Boom. With the ice.
Yeah, I haven't skated in probably like 15 years.
I could see.
Yeah,
I bet
same
he's a
with me.
master skater. You ever notice that? Like some guys, you just don't expect them to be like great athletes, and they're like amazing skaters for some reason.
I always heard he was a master debater.
I think there was another joke in there, but we're gonna move right along. So, George, we know we were talking about driving up. You're a big car guy. You got any new fun cars you've been playing?
No, I still have my cars. I still have the Range
You got the
Rover.
Rig Rover? Did you ever get that fully finished?
I have the classic Rover,
Yeah.
which I've been working on for a couple years.
I know.
And
Last
then-
time I saw you, you showed
and
me a
then
photo, and you were
the
going to
Austin
trick
Healey
it out.
that I have,
Mhm.
and then I'm looking to see if I could move from one of those and probably get something different.
Oh, really? Which one would you get rid of?
That's why I haven't gotten rid of any. I like them both.
What would you want to get if you were going to move into something else?
I'm looking into like a '66 Porsche.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Classic.
Those are nice.
You and your cars.
I love a good
Yeah.
car. Yeah. Speed. It's nice.
Good. I guess the cigar industry is good for you then.
It's been good.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs. The last couple of years, there's been a lot of instability. A lot of brands.
Instability in the industry or
in
within
the
the- or
industry.
within the company?
No, not within the company. More within the industry. It's been very difficult. In a sense of. There's a lot of transition right now with the FDA thing going on. So
We were
there's
just
a lot-
talking- we were just
the
talking about that during the break,
retailers,
actually.
the retailers like yourself, things like that, have maybe felt that they want to focus on some products. So it's been a little bit difficult with the smaller mom and pops.
You feel that some people are cutting back on SKUs because they're
Yeah.
worried that they won't
Yeah.
make it. Really?
Yeah, I mean, I see it. and-
Me personally, I haven't worried about it at all. I'm running as
I mean,
is
you shouldn't. I mean, you got into
until
2021,
otherwise.
and
I mean, I've kind of halted on my own intercompany projects.
Yeah. Yeah,
because-
those I understand.
Because a lot of the manufacturers don't want to deal with me right now with all the FDA stuff going on too. But we just kind of halted on that. But everything else is kind of status quo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were talking about in the break, like you're getting ready to revamp your packaging because what the new FDA is 30% of the top of the box.
30% of the top of the box and the front of the box.
Yeah, so
not on the inside.
30% of the area of the top of the cigar box, 30%. It's like a billboard. Will be an FDA warning label.
Yeah, it actually cuts into my brand logo.
Because people are actually redoing packaging to accommodate the label warning. But as if any adult today doesn't know that smoking is not a healthy habit, as much as drinking or going to McDonald's or pretty much about 20 other things I could think of.
That's correct.
You know,
so it's a little bit complicated right now trying to institute that program that we're gonna in a couple of months we're gonna have to put in all of our boxes. So
it's a big cost thing to you guys too.
Huge cost. I mean, we're not revamping our packaging right now because we have so much of it from all these years that we've done a lot of stickers and things like that. So some of it is going to go over our labels, which is a shame. And then once we go through our inventory, then we're going to resize everything to fit so it's more proportionate and you'll be able to look at the brand as it used to.
There was some news, and we'll talk about with Coop, because I'm sure Coop will know later on the show, but there was some news from Cigar Aficionado yesterday, I believe it was, that there was an announcement from the government about them having to look over the FDA regulations, and Diaz-Balart, I think, was the guy talking about it.
I read that.
Yeah,
I read that.
Specifically saying that they need to become more realistic
on how these organizations
how it's going to regulate the cigar industry.
And it's not only the FDA. I mean, we're talking as a government with the previous administration, the way they did things. You have these agencies that just basically did whatever they wanted, and they don't really look at the impact, the financial impact, or anything like that. And it's unfortunate.
The problem is it just doesn't seem that any of their decision making that they make is based on any other fact than eradicating the industry. And that's the problem. It's not for taxes, it's not for benefiting kids, it's not for anything. It's really primary motive is eradicating illegal industry. And that's why for years I've been hoping they would legalize marijuana. Because I figured once they legalized that...
I felt that way, and I don't look at it anymore.
I figured once they did that, we'd stop being the battering ram for the government. But we're not.
No.
They're letting the marijuana people do whatever they want. Nobody's touching them.
Yeah.
It's insane.
If you go to Vegas last year at the convention, we went around and we looked at it. It had become recreational, and it's crazy what they were doing.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like you just said, you just went to Canada, because I was in Vancouver last summer, right?
Yeah.
You can't see the cigarettes.
No.
Cigarettes are in a drawer, closed drawer. If you ask him for a brand, the guy doesn't know where it is. He's got to open 15 drawers to find out where it is.
I didn't get to go to a store, but I was at the duty free, and it really shocked me because the carton basically was cover about 90%. The only thing you could look at was the brand, is about that little
of the name,
and then everything else was covered entirely with horrible pictures, images. I mean, the whole carton was covered.
Well, that's in duty free.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in like the 7-Elevens or the Circle K's, where they call them in Canada, I forgot what they're called them. Like you can't see them. They won't even let you see them. They're hidden in drawers. And we were just talking about this, and I kind of went on a rant because I guess some what do you call it? Fun marijuana place, not medicinal one. The recreational marijuana place opened up in L.A. and they were showing videos of it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I've seen the videos. Yeah,
it was like a Apple store.
Yeah.
They had these tables lined up just like an Apple store, and they're all wearing their red shirts, and they got these little, whatever, white plastic containers with weed in it, and people are picking it up and smelling it, and touching it. But you can't touch a pack of cigarettes.
Look,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, but at the end of the day, I mean, just because we're getting affected, I don't think the marijuana industry should be affected either the way we are. And eventually, it might go in that direction.
Well,
it's unfortunate.
It would relieve
as
some
a consumer.
burden. It would relieve a burden for the industry.
No, we shouldn't, because then you got to look at it as like, well, they should go after alcohol because I think
they should.
I think I think they should stop regulating us
everything altogether.
Yeah, I mean, legalize prostitution for all. That's what I say.
Amen to that.
So. You could certify them.
Paul's laughing. Amen to that.
But it's true. It's the truth. I mean, you can't over-regulate the way they're doing, and then all they're doing is trying to tax us to fund their overspending. That's really what it comes down to.
That's my beef, too. Tax-free Florida gets something ridiculous number, like $65 million a year, to spend money and pull up billboards to tell me that smoking is not healthy, it's not good for your health.
Yeah.
I mean, is it insane? I'd like to know what adult this is not 1950. What adult today doesn't understand the ramifications of smoking, liquor?
Well, just this week, they introduced a bill in the Florida State House where they were going to make it 21.
21.
So
yeah.
these are the things, it happened originally in Hawaii. Now it's expanding. And it's fine. If you want to make someone, for the average cigar smoker, they're usually from 25 to 35, 40, 50-year-olds. So it's not going to affect us because it's a different type of consumer.
Listen, I don't have a problem.
But why are you restricting people if you're able to go serve in the military?
That's my point. I don't have a problem if they want to make 21 illegal.
Why is it okay to go and send you somewhere to get blown up, but
don't
you
let
can't
a guy,
do it?
You're right. Don't let a guy go defend his country and risk his life and then tell him he can't have a cigarette.
Yeah.
The government's perfectly all right to saying, hey, we'll let you go and fight and risk your life and kill people, but we're going to make a judgment for you because you're not old enough to decide whether or not you want to have a cigar or not, or smoke a cigarette.
But in the
this
same
is the
way,
hypocrisy of our government.
But in the same way, a lot of the people who go to military are usually not the
careful.
middle class.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying a lot of the people that go to the military are actually people that come from the poor areas.
It is,
things like that.
'cause it's a
they
good-
look at
it's
it
a
as
good
a career.
opportunity.
It's a good opportunity. So not all of us serve. So maybe if you serve, you should have more freedoms.
Listen,
we should look at it that way.
It's ridiculous, and this government and Trump, before Trump, all you Obama fans, before him and after him, it just doesn't work. They're hypocrites. One man is not going to change it. For all you Trump believers out there, yeah, he's trying and whatever, but you want to know what? He doesn't control everything. He's not going to make all the decisions.
No.
And he still answers to people. And this government is just built on the gears and the wheels of not doing what's best for its people.
It's not for the people.
By design.
It's basically spending on pet projects.
Yeah.
In my opinion. For all these different...
All it is about shuffling the money.
Yeah.
It's all it is, shuffling the money. Who gets the money this year? Where are we going to get the money this year for this and that?
I got to tell you, when they were passing the bill about, a couple weeks ago or a week ago, Rand Paul went on there and he spoke for about an hour. Dude, that was probably the greatest speech I've ever heard about spending money. If you look at it, just look it up, look for it, listen to him. He made so much sense. I mean, these people are spending money. We're spending, he said almost $2 million a second.
It's insane.
In the U.S. government.
And I just don't know why someone just say stop.
Because they could print more.
Stop.
Oh, and then they tax us.
Stop. Stop printing money.
We're going to become like California.
My business, I got too much debt. I stopped buying.
There you go.
I stopped spending. I stopped advertising.
But they don't look at it that way.
It's crazy.
Anyway, this has been KMA Talk Radio and the governmental version of political chat talk. We'll be back with George Rico, and we'll talk about cigars when we come back here on KMA Talk Radio.
Away from,
keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too!
Yes, it's mandatory.
Mike Bellady has collaborated with industry legends Don Pepin Garcia, Manuel Quesada, and Ernesto Perez Carrillo to make some of the industry's most highly touted cigars. Through his company, MLB Cigars, Mike brings you 4 incredible and unique blends. Imperia Islero, Imperia Aventador, and the David P. Ehrlich Tremont. MLB Cigars are made with the best minds in the industry at world-renowned factories using the finest tobacco. Visit us at MLB Cigar Ventures and follow us on social media. Imperia and David P. Ehrlich Cigars. Developed by legends, smoked by connoisseurs.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
When Dominican passion, artistry, and skill combine with 114 years of family legacy, you don't just have a cigar, you have the cigar. Whether you love the mild, flavorful La Aurora 1987 Connecticut, the spicy 1962 Corojo, or the always smooth, sweet La Aurora 1903 Cameroon, you aren't just enjoying a part of history, you're lighting your own legacy, flavor, value, family. Be a part of something. Look to the lion. Smoke La Aurora. We are Dominican defined.
Congratulations, champ, on winning your exhibition fight. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I'm going to smoke one of these amazing Leaf by Oscar cigars.
You mean Leaf by Oscar?
That's what I said, Leaf by Oscar.
It's called Leaf by Oscar, and yes, they are amazing cigars.
See, now you're making me mad. I just want to enjoy my Leaf by Oscar cigar, but you're making fun of me.
It's called Leaf by Oscar.
That's 2 knockouts. Now I get to smoke 2 Leaf by Oscar cigars.
That's Leaf by Oscar.
Hi, this is Rocky Patel, and I'd like to invite you to try one of our decade cigars. This premier cigar received a 95 rating from Cigar Aficionado, one of the highest ratings ever afforded by that magazine. It's a beautiful Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper with fillers from Nicaragua and Honduras. This cigar is medium to full-bodied, rich, complex, yet elegant and well-balanced. I promise you, you're going to love the decade. Try it.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Laws. Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
This is George Rico, and pimping ain't easy. I am not Pitbull.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's a while
Muy
back.
caliente. This is KMA Talk Radio. We are here in.
Have you put on dark glasses and tried to go places, Pitbull? Try to get
Have
away
you
with
tried
it?
to get into a club before?
Don't lie.
In Denver.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in Denver, they probably bought it.
For about 20 minutes. It was a strip club. It did work out for 20 minutes. The whole thing is I spoke.
I spoke. You weren't supposed to say anything.
I wasn't supposed to
All
say
you're
anything.
supposed to do is just
Uno,
come with
dos,
two big guys.
tres, cuatro.
Yeah, you should come with two big guys and just let them do the talking.
Juani from Gurko told me,
That's funny.
We were doing the whole thing.
That seems like a Wani.
Yeah, that seems like a one plan, yeah. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister, with me, of course, Honest Abe, and we are here talking with George Rico of Gran Habano Cigars. George, thanks for being here. It's been a pleasure. In our previous segment, we were talking about FDA regulations, the government chaos, and all the wonderful things there. But what have you been doing now? I mean, we're talking about how you're rebranding, you're repackaging everything.
Yeah.
Want to deal with the FDA. But what have you been doing to create product? What have you had that's been...
Well, we have actually a lot of people don't know, but we are going to introduce our 20th anniversary cigar, Corojo number 520. This is actually the 20th year of Gran Habano being
Is it really 20?
1998.
So, I'm not trying to be smart here. I'm trying to be sincere now. The company's Gran Habano now, or is it still
the company's Gran Habano.
You guys have had different names, mergers, splits, cigars. I've kind of, it's kind of a colorful, it's a nice storyline.
It's a nice storyline. No, the only thing was my father and myself split about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then we came back together and we worked together.
You had a name that was something else. I forgot.
Well, mine was Gar.
Yeah.
For my
when
initials.
you guys got back, you had a whole name for everything.
Well, the distribution was Santa Clara Cigars, but we Santa Cruz Tobacco. I'm sorry, and then we switched it over to just Gran Habano, so it's our DBA. So that way, because a lot of people recognize just Gran Habano, so the company just became Gran Habano. So now, we're just one company.
Now, are you and your father together?
Yeah, we work together.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, no, it's
Gran Habano Cigars.
10 years is Gran Habano Cigars. Right. Go out there and buy them.
but okay, so you're coming out with the 20th Corojo number 5.
Yeah.
How is this a difference from the original Corojo?
Well, this is a project that I started about 8 years ago, and it's tobacco that we've been aging for about 8 years. A little bit longer than that. We have a product that's called the Reserva. So we have our Gran Habano Reserva number 2010, 2011. Those are actually cigars that were made in that year using tobaccos that were 8 years prior to that. So this is a continuation of that. It's just our 20th anniversary, and it's I think it's a wonderful cigar. That's gonna, a lot of flavor, complexity.
Is this gonna be regular production, or?
It's gonna be a regular production, but the thing is that it's our 20th anniversary, and we're gonna do that probably from this year till probably a couple of years, and then we're gonna move forward with the other projects that we have. We introduced the Black Dahlia last year. The year before that, we did La Conquista. So those products, the way we're looking at them is we want to grow those products. And if we keep introducing new items, it takes away from we have a core line, which are Connecticut, our Habano, and our Corojo number 5, but we want to be able to just essentially introduce just a very few amount of cigars.
Okay. Well, that's a great thing. I'm just glad to see that you're moving forward. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think for the we're already in 2018. You're probably thinking about the trade show coming up.
Yeah, this is for the trade show.
Okay, so that's the big thing you're going to have for the show.
Yeah.
So it'll be
now with the FDA regulations. I mean, look, I have about 20 to 32 different blends that we have grandfathered. That we're going through the grandfather process. So we have a lot of different blends, a lot of different projects that are going to come out. But right now, I'm going through the process of just reintroducing what we've been doing for quite some time, giving focus to our core line, and then as all this clears out, then we'll be able to bring in new blends that are grandfather with new projects.
And of course, this is all everybody's kind of just figuring this out how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
I'm going through what the law says right now, and then based on that, we're just going to work on it.
But the problem is with the law is everybody seems to have a slightly different interpretation.
Well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, depending on your attorney. But
depending on what your attorney charges per hour, you get a different interpretation.
But the law is the law, and I think it's pretty straightforward what they want to do and what they want to institute right now. Now, is that going to change later on? Yeah, it might change. We don't know. We're still waiting for this whole thing with the packaging to be resolved. We don't know where that's going to be. So it might change from here to the end of the year. It might not, but we have to go through the process of working with what's on the paper right now. So. Unfortunately, and it's costly. So, this stinks.
You ever get nervous?
Very much.
Really?
Very much.
Everybody I talk to kind of has a different opinion. Some guys not nervous. Some guys are overly confident. Some guys are nervous like you.
Well, I'm nervous because it's very competitive. And there's a lot of different projects. And there's a lot of people out there that are really don't understand what's going on. Having so many products that are grandfather, I think I'm going to be fine. Is just fighting our way, and there's a lot of people, like I like to say, there's a lot of people fighting for the same wave.
If the cigar industry just ended tomorrow, they made it illegal, all shops shut down, what would George Rico be doing?
I got to tell you, I have no idea. I mean, I've been doing this since
you
I was 17.
You haven't thought about it at all?
I thought about it at times. I maybe open up a restaurant. I don't know.
Are you a foodie?
I'm a foodie. I'm a huge foodie. And,
can you cook?
I could cook. But at the same time, I think I could cook well.
Really?
Yeah, I could cook well.
All right.
He says that very confidently.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah. No, I'm
Rocky,
very good.
Rocky claims to be a good cook.
I heard that he cooks pretty good.
I heard he's fantastic.
I'm not sure. I've never tasted his food.
I think we should make a cook-off.
Let's do
a KMA cook-off.
Let's do it.
I like this.
That would be awesome.
We got to pick 5 ingredients or something like that, and we could only
it'd be like the Iron Chef.
Like the Iron Chef.
Yeah.
KMA Iron.
I think we
KMA Iron Chef.
Listen, I got this. We're gonna find a couple other guys. Try to get 4 who claim they can cook.
So George, Rocky,
and we'll do a live remote from Boynton where they come with. We'll have all the equipment.
You could only do burgers. I always see you're only doing burgers.
Oh,
we'll give you equipment. Get out of here. Me burgers.
That's all he does, right?
Listen.
I mean,
that's not food.
Oh,
it's a food, but it's not cuisine.
All right. Well, I guess
I'm just messing with you.
I just guess you're just never going to have one of those burgers. That's all.
I've seen them. They look good.
They are
the
amazing.
ones with the cheese and
cheese. Get out of here, dude. It's more than that. It's a homemade patty.
He's getting so upset.
Don't.
No, I know. He likes doing burgers. That's why.
Oh, no one should ever offend the man about his burgers.
Burgers and ribs.
Ribs.
Ribs. 5.5 hours takes. 4.5.
I want to try doing this thing that someone told me. It's like a rib sandwich. And then
it's called the McRib. It comes out.
No.
I love it.
Some guy does it. He was telling me the recipe, and what he was saying was that he puts it in a broiler, wrapped in aluminum foil with the seasoning, and then he cooks it. He cooked it for like 45 minutes, and then he takes the bone out, and then he throws it on the grill. I want to try that. I've never done that.
Yeah, it's a pulled rib sandwich.
No, you don't take it apart. You just push the rib.
Yeah,
bone out.
when you.
I've never done it, so I've never seen it, so I don't know.
When I cook ribs, I have to be careful because I lose a couple because they get so mine are so tender, the bones are just slipping out.
You boil it?
No,
I'm just
messing with boil ribs. That's a sin to boil a rib.
Hell yeah,
it takes the skill out of it.
That's very much true.
Skill and passion. So
Yes.
once again, this has been the KMA Food Channel episode. We hope you've enjoyed our recipes.
You get a little bit of everything in KMA.
Yes, we are.
That's why we are a lifestyle show.
That will be fun. That will be fun.
We are very.
I'm going to do this. I love this cook-off thing.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, done.
We've been saying for years we're going to get Rocky to cook for us.
No, I like the cook-off thing.
There'll
I
be
like the
some
cook-off
abalone.
thing. We'll have Chef Richard rent some equipment from Culinary Flair. We'll bring it all in there.
Yeah.
They all get to use it, and the crowd will decide. We'll give them little ballots so that nobody gets embarrassed.
Okay.
And the crowd will decide, and we'll crown a winner
of the cigar chef.
Yes.
Of
I
the
like
world.
this.
Yeah, and I'll go through the archives to find out who else told us in interviews that they can cook.
I know Rocky and him for sure. I mean, listen,
Well,
you can always count Eric Espinosa. He does everything great.
Yeah. That's so true. Anyway, the Scoop with Coop when we come back. Keep it lit.
Do you love delicious beer? Do you love delicious cigars? Well, we have the perfect cigar for you. The Quesada Keg, a savory Nicaraguan cigar draped in a beautiful Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper and packed in wooden barrels. The Quesada Keg was blended to pair with the traditional Irish stouts we all love to enjoy on St. Patrick's Day. Available in 3 tasty sizes. The Quesada Keg is available for a limited time only, so grab one today before they sell out. The Quesada Keg, the perfect cigar to pair with beer.
The party's always rocking at Spearmint Rhino Gentlemen's Club with drink and dinner specials like the 16-ounce New York strip and mashed potato dinner, $16.95, 5 till 10 daily. And Magnum Mondays with specials on bottles and $3 premiums till midnight. And Warrior Wednesdays, where all vets, current military, and first responders are in free with work ID. All of this greatness while jamming out to DJ Legato and enjoying the finest women in Palm Beach. The Spearmint Rhino Gentlemen's Club, corner of Okeechobee and Military Trail, West Palm Beach.
WSVU North Palm Beach, W240CI North Palm Beach, W295BJ Jupiter, W223CJ West Palm Beach.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
This is Eric Espinoza, and over the years, many cigar aficionados have enjoyed my highly rated brands, 601, Murcielago. In the spirit of continuing improvement, I have purchased my own factory, La Zona, in rich and fertile tobacco region of Esteli, Nicaragua. After almost 2 decades in the cigar industry, I have created a brand I finally feel is worthy of my name. Espinoza cigars are made with only the finest tobaccos, hand-selected and aged to perfection. Our cigars are bold in flavor, yet refined to the palate. For more information, visit EspinozaCigars.com.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit Sindicato.com.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Baker and Zimmerman, defending the injured. 800-866-LAWS.
Quality and value are always the two biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Hey fools, how about a game of Cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're gonna need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
When Dominican passion, artistry, and skill combine with 114 years of family legacy, you don't just have a cigar, you have the cigar. Whether you love the mild, flavorful La Aurora 1987 Connecticut, the spicy 1962 Corojo, or the always smooth, sweet La Aurora 1903 Cameroon, you aren't just enjoying a part of history, you're lighting your own legacy, flavor, value, family. Be a part of something. Look to the lion. Smoke La Aurora. We are Dominican defined.
Congratulations, champ, on winning your exhibition fight. What are you going to do to celebrate? I'm going to smoke one of these amazing Leaf by Oscar cigars. You mean Leaf by Oscar? That's what I said, Leaf by Oscar. It's called Leaf by Oscar, and yes, they are amazing cigars. See, now you're making me mad. I just want to enjoy my Leaf by Oscar cigar, but you're making fun of me. It's called Leaf by Oscar. That's 2 knockouts. Now I get to smoke 2 Leaf by Oscar cigars. That's Leaf by Oscar.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
So welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K, the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Honest Abe.
Hoy hoy.
And sitting here is George Rico of Gran, Habano.
Pleasure.
Thank you, George. And on the line, from the hills of Charlotte, William Cooper himself. It's time for the Scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
Koopaloop, what's happening?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Abe. Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Good morning. What is going on this week in the news, Coop?
Well, I heard earlier you guys were talking about Congressman Diaz-Balert's testimony he was giving to the 2019 budget hearings, and that was a budget hearing where OMB, the Office of Management Budget Director, Mick Mulvaney, was present. The interesting thing about that story is there wasn't anything really new that came out of that. That we do know that the FDA has said they're going to be reopening the reevaluation of cigars. The thing I think that was significant about that story was it was kind of an acknowledgement that Mick Mulvaney kind of gets that they need to really do a cost-benefit analysis when they put these regulations in. It kind of was a affirmation that the Congressman Diaz-Balart, he understands the regulations of the cigar industry, but there wasn't really any new news out of that. It was just kind of like this acknowledgement on the cigar industry that people kind of sort of say they get it, I guess.
Well, I mean, we spent a good 10 minutes talking about it, and there's 15 different interpretations of what anything is, but as long as someone has...
Well, I think Cigar Aficionado didn't have nothing good to write about, so they just kind of remade a story and threw it up there.
Probably good. Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Well analyzed, Coop. Well done. So what else is happening in the news?
The big news this week, Avo Cigars announced plans for their 30th anniversary, how they're going to commemorate it this week. And there's going to be a lot they have coming out. There's going to be, the centerpiece is going to be a new cigar. It's going to be the annual Avo limited edition. And it's going to be under the improvisation line. It's called the Avo 30-year improvisation. That's going to come out around when Avo's birthday was, which is in mid-March, March 22nd. So that's you'll expect to see that. But there's other things that are coming out around that celebration. There's going to be a return of the Avo Maduro and the Avo Signature in very limited run. So there's going to be like a one-time limited run of both of those cigars.
It has to be limited.
It continues. Yeah.
Because it kind of didn't sell the first time around.
But these will have the new 30th. They'll have special 30th anniversary bands to commemorate these.
So it's kind of like the Davidoff white labels that all have secondary bands now too.
Yeah, these are going to have secondary bands.
I predict this to be the year of mass Davidoff confusion. They got all these special bands and 50th bands and secondary bands, and I expect the consumers just to completely not have a clue what Davidoff's up to this year, and it should be an interesting circus.
Wow.
Yeah. Also coming back though as part of this are two pretty highly sought after Avos in the limited edition series. They're going to bring back a limited edition run of the Avo LE5 and the Avo 22.
Yeah, the two most historically renowned.
The 22 was good.
Best one, but the LE5s are good too. I think I still have one stick.
The originals?
One stick in my humidor.
How many runs did they do that? Two?
They did
one of each.
Oh, okay.
And then Avo went around selling some out of his trunk to shops that were made aftermarket, saying, "Yeah, these are C22s." Yeah.
Did Avo ever give you a cigar out of his mouth?
Avo would give you a cigar out of his mouth all the time. Here, try this, smoke this.
Yeah, he did that to me once, and I was
like, "But no, I'm serious." Avo would have these limited releases, and then go load up on some secondary runs from the factory in his car in bundles, and just drive around the cigar shops selling them.
Yeah, it's something to do.
It was funny.
Yeah.
What else is going on this week, Coop?
Also, concurrently, the same date as the Avo announcements came out, General Cigar announced that they are going to be commemorating Macanudo's 50th anniversary.
Wow.
There were a little less details coming around that. There's going to be some promotions around that, and there appears there's going to be a special 3-cigar collection around Macanudo that's going to come out at Pro Cigar, supposedly, but they haven't disclosed details. But that announcement came out the same day, 50 years.
Yeah, Pro Cigars next week.
It's tomorrow.
Listen, the only thing they could do to impress me is to actually make a Macanudo with Jamaican tobacco in Jamaica.
That would be good.
That would impress me.
I have one.
Everything else is just marketing.
I have one of those.
You want to celebrate because
was good.
Not many people know this, but Macanudo
good.
was a Jamaican cigar. That's how it started. So, if you want to impress me. Thank you very much.
And now you know.
So if you want to impress me there, General Cigar Company, think out of the box a little bit. You should have thought of it like 2 years ago. Watch, they're all in their marketing room. Oh, we got this idea. How are we going to make this Jamaican by next month? Yeah.
All they have to do is buy the dread from Eric.
Eric, there you go. But, throw a little Blue Mountain coffee bean in the box. Oh, hey. But, no, seriously. I mean, if they had thought this like a year or two ago, I would have started harvesting some good Jamaican tobacco and rolled it in a Jamaican
When did
factory.
they put out when was it, like 90s, right? They stopped making.
Oh, I don't even know.
It was in the 90s.
It was before I was in the industry. Yeah.
I have one cigar.
A Jamaican Macanudo? That's pretty bad. Oop,
Yeah.
Almost. I stopped.
We're okay.
Don't
We're
worry
good.
about it. Yep. No drop necessary. Go ahead, Coop.
What else we got, Coop?
There's a lawsuit in the cigar industry.
I saw this.
Manuel Quesada is being sued by a company called Cavici and Company, who are the parent. I guess the best way to put it is they're the parent company of Regis Cigars. And what happened is that Quesada used to be the distributor of Regis Cigars, and that ended last year. But this is over unpaid invoices. Now I'm going to give you guys an interesting thing that happened. I was with Manuel Quesada. He was in Charlotte on Wednesday, and he was actually at my cigar shop, and he seemed very distracted. And once I left and kind of went home, that's when I got word this lawsuit was happening. So I think it was literally while he was in the cigar shop, where he was obviously he was very distracted, I think is when this news broke. I just didn't know it until after I had left.
It just doesn't seem like him or his company not to be paying invoices. There's got to be more to the story than that.
It is, yeah. There's always two sides to the story. I mean, obviously, this is just what's being reported here, and we'll see what happens with it. It's not over a huge amount of money, which is kind of weird. I mean, I'm not saying $50,000 is not a lot of money, but
no, it's not.
In the scheme of things, it's
bills,
not. Yeah,
it's a couple bills of tobacco, but I mean, I think it could be a principal issue. I think maybe there's an argument on whether or not they believe they owe that money or not. Because, I mean, what was his name? The guy who runs
Akil.
it? Yeah, I mean, that guy could barely formulate a whole sentence when you're talking to him. How do you get a lawsuit out? No, seriously. He came out and talked to me during the trade show, and I literally went up to Terrence Ryan. I said, you should do yourself a favor. Put this guy in a closet somewhere and never let him talk to anybody. Dude, he couldn't follow his whole train of thought. He was like I thought I was talking to like 8 different personalities, talking about 8 different subjects in one conversation. It was rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what's happening on the cigarcoop.com this
week?
Am
I just being mean today, Paul? Paul's like looking at me like
I'm waiting to get text messages.
Am I just being extra mean?
You're
George likes it. As long as George is happy, I'm gonna stay.
George, I'll forward those text messages to you.
No comment.
Yeah. Big week actually on Coop. A lot of reviews coming out this week. Steve Zarka's Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust Naka Tamale is going to be reviewed. The new Monte Cristo Craft is going to be reviewed, as well as a Davidoff Culebra. So quite a bit this week.
All right, sounds good. Make sure you check out cigar-coop.com for all the latest news and information. Coop, we will talk to you next week.
Sounds good, my friends. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, my brother.
William Cooper, make sure you check out Cigar Coop. It is all the best stuff you can get in
It's
the
weird
industry.
not having him around now. He's been around so much
know.
in person. I'm like, where is he?
Well, I told Brian to make us feel a little better, like during our live broadcast on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a little icon of him in the corner.
Oh, can I pick
So
a
at least-
picture?
Yeah. Well, I used the one from the event last week. He looked
Oh,
great.
yeah,
he
he
was
did
all in
look good.
KMA gear.
Yeah.
We'll put
I was going to use the one of him on the donkey.
We'll call field correspondent.
I miss him.
All right. George, you got any big plans for big events or anything coming out in the near future?
I'm going to be in Dallas this week, so if you want to come out and see me in Dallas, I'm going to be working the area, and then I'll be in New York the week after
They must
that,
be putting something in the water in Texas.
Why?
I'm not even exaggerating. I had 5 or 6 different people from Texas who flew all the way down for our event last week and left their ticket in Texas.
Really?
Swear to God. No, I'm not exaggerating. When I got to the third guy, I'm like, where are you from, Texas? I'm like, what are they putting in the water in Texas? What is the matter with you people?
A lot of land.
Where in Texas?
I don't know.
Fort
There's
Worth,
5,
I feel.
No, 5 different cities. But literally,
Oh, really?
5 guys left their tickets and flew down here. And now we're saying, oh, I don't have a ticket. You know?
To get in?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, a ticket's like cash. You don't lose a ticket to the Super Bowl and show up like, I had a ticket, but I lost it. Can I get in?
They're Texans.
You know. Actually, I can't remember his name, but only one guy was like the coolest. I literally.
What did you do?
We're not mailing tickets. We're not mailing tickets next year. It's going to be will call because literally
will
for
call.
48 hours is all I dealt with. But the one guy from Texas, he had a long braided beard like down to his belly button, super cool. Out of like the 50 people I've talked to, he was the only one who said to me, he said, look, all I want to do is pay for a ticket right now.
Wow.
And then I'll mail you the ticket when I get home from Texas, and then you can refund my money.
Yeah.
So he didn't expect me to trust him.
Right.
You know? He didn't expect me to trust him. He understood. He just wanted to know that if he buys a ticket now and he mails me that, I said, you know what? Frame that other ticket, man. Don't worry about it. Give this guy a ticket.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Because he was the only guy who was
saw
that
him
straight
too
up.
with the braided beard.
Yeah. He was the only guy that was that straight up and that honest about
What
the
about
matter.
the other 4 guys?
Everybody came up to you with some cockamamie story, this and that, and this and that. Yeah, it's all right. We're different, whole different setup next year.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right.
will call is the best way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. 10 people at will call to get in line from A to D.
That's it.
Absolutely. George, thanks for being here.
Appreciate
it.
You guys stick around for some whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, good. Have a seat, man. We're going to have some whiskey.
There you go.
Clyde Mays and L.C. May, grandson of Clyde Mays. When we come back, keep it lit.
Win a date with Adam K. the Brewmeister.
This is George Rico. I would actually like to go see Adam in a dress and go out with him.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Since their humble beginnings in 1998, Drew Estate has believed that the production floor is the crossroads between art and passion, and where the real magic takes place. Drew Estate Master Blender Willie Herrera has crafted a unique medium-bodied line extension that is creamy, lush, and ultra-smooth, and finished off with a flawless shade wrapper that delivers satisfaction in spades. Continuing the story from their factory floor, it is with great bravado that the Drew Estate presents Under Crown Shade, a true Drew experience.
Make your next bold journey an epic one. When it comes to cigars, only one brand delivers intense, unforgettable experiences: Camacho. In continuing this fearless tradition, Camacho brings you the newest addition to its arsenal of badass, the new Camacho BXP. Intense, box-pressed, and crafted with rugged American broadleaf fillers from Pennsylvania. Available in Connecticut, Corojo, and Ecuador. Outfit your next bold journey with the new Camacho BXP.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, their life and their family's life changes dramatically. Chemotherapy treatments, doctor visits, and trips to the hospital soon consume their time. The programs and services provided by the Kids Cancer Foundation make it possible for the foundation to meet the needs of our young patients and families. We could not provide these resources without your support. For more information and to find out how you can make a difference in the life of a child battling cancer, call 561-333-8116 or visit kidscancersf.org.
Sponsored by CLE Cigars.
Lights, camera, action. Real Clips Barbershop brings you all that is good about old school barbershops in a new cinematic themed environment. Whether you need a traditional cut, fade, blowout, or even a straight razor hot towel shave, our master barbers will get you right. All while enjoying iconic scenes from some of your favorite movies, right from our video screens built into the mirrors. Visit realclipsbarbershop.com. That's real, R-E-E-L, clipsbarbershop.com for a location near you or to make an appointment. After one visit, we know you'll be back.
Monte Cristo has set the standard once again, turning back the hands of time by utilizing a long-forgotten, unique aging process that harmonizes the flavors of the wrapper binder and filler with the use of small pilones. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured is an exquisite cigar you must try now. Available nationally for the first time, Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured features a 2006 Nicaraguan Rosado Oscuro wrapper that is both beautiful and distinctive. This cigar is a masterpiece no one should miss. Make sure you get one today at your local tobacconist. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. We are here broadcasting live in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, is America's host with the most, Honest Abe.
I mean a bagel, sorry.
It happens. You love a good bagel. And, well, you need to get a base going because we now have a very special guest. We are now joined by our old friend Richard Lewis. Richard, welcome back.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
On an empty stomach.
You can. And L.C. May, grandson of Clyde Mays. L.C., welcome to KMA Talk Radio.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So you are the grandson of a moonshiner.
That's right.
How does that make you feel when you can say that? I mean, I can't say that. All my relatives were farmers.
Was it cool in school growing up?
Well, I'm the grandson and son of a moonshiner. My dad did
There
it
you
too.
go.
I was around it most of my life. In fact, my dad did it for a very long time, and I got to see it firsthand myself.
Did he have the hidden still underneath the cape of tree canopy?
I mean, if you don't hide it, you're going to get caught and you're going to get arrested. So you have to, if you get busted, you have to, or if your still gets busted, I mean, not you specifically, you have to move to the next spot and just find a new location. But to answer your question about school, it did not make me cooler because you knew better than to talk about it at school because that's how you get caught. You keep your mouth shut. So.
But, weren't you, the coolest kid because you always had a bottle, for the parties and stuff?
I don't support underage drinking.
He's good.
He's good. Well trained.
Yeah, giveaway.
Wow.
So, I mean,
just curious, I'm a huge fan of Lawless, the movie.
Yes.
Did you guys know the Bondurant family, or
no?
Was that anywhere near you guys, or?
So that movie's a little intense in regards to how moonshining's portrayed, which that was very accurate because that was during Prohibition.
Right.
When my grandfather,
it was based on the book, The Whitest County
exactly,
Ever. Yeah.
Yes. And that movie's very accurate and everything to that time and what was going on during Prohibition. But when my grandfather made it, it was post Prohibition, so he was just doing it illegally. So people have this perception of moonshiners. They either look at them one of two ways. They either see him as like the Al Capone shoot up the car kind of deal, or they see him as the backwoods of West Virginia overalls kind of thing. But where I grew up and where moonshine is still being made today, that's not the kind of perception I ever saw. These are just hardworking people. They work all day, they have a day job, and then they just make moonshine as a means to provide a better life for their family, and that's what my grandfather was doing. So.
Wow.
So, did your father follow your grandfather's recipes, or did he try to experiment or change anything at all? When he was?
So my dad, when my grandfather first of all, my dad was the youngest of the 8 children. My grandfather had 8 children. 21 years separate the oldest and the youngest.
Wow.
So actually, my dad had a really close one-on-one relationship with my grandfather because by the time he got old enough to start helping my grandfather, the other sons and other children had already moved out of the house and had their own families and were starting their own lives. So my dad, he was my grandfather's right-hand man for many years, and then when my grandfather died, my dad for many years continued on that same tradition of making a high-quality moonshine, and people knew if they wanted Clyde May's moonshine like he made it, they needed to call Billy May, and that's what he did for a long time. He doesn't do it anymore. That's why I can talk about it now, but he's it would be an absolute insult to my grandfather if my dad didn't do it exactly like he did it, and everything my dad learned and how to do it. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't pick up a few tricks of the trade on his own just from his own personal experiences of doing it by himself. He didn't have his dad to help him during those times, but he certainly, all the knowledge he carries with him came from my grandfather, Clyde May.
Now, when I hear moonshine, I typically imagine a clear liquid.
That's correct. So,
is any of this considered like the moonshine that your grandfather made?
So, what this recipe comes from, so a majority of what my grandfather sold was moonshine. It was clear, white lightning, or as it's called in the whiskey bourbon world, white dog. It's clear. Obviously, what gives it this brown color is when you age it in a barrel and for a certain amount of years. Well, my grandfather was doing many things to kind of step aside from all his competitors, and one of the things he did was he was aging some of his moonshine in barrels, and that's where all this comes from. That's inspiration. The recipe we use is from his aged moonshine, not from his clear moonshine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So he was aging moonshine in charred oak barrels, just like they do in Kentucky and all over the United States today. He didn't have the luxury of doing 20 barrels at a time or doing it for 15 years or something.
Right.
It was one barrel at a time, and if he was lucky, he could maybe do it for a year. If he was lucky, because you have to hide that stuff. If you get caught, you're busted. So
it's just a decorative barrel in the corner. Pay no attention to it.
It's a kitchen table. We throw a cloth over it. There you go.
He did many things to hide it. One of the things I hear a lot from my uncles and my father and stuff is that he actually used to hide his barrel under like this mountain of sawdust that was kind of like in his barn or shop or whatever you want to call it, because he was actually, in his earlier life, was in the timber industry. He was a logger, and that's actually what my dad does today. He's in the timber industry. And so, a federal agent who may or may not step into his barn, they're not going to think twice about this mountain of sawdust that's in the corner. They're like, he's in the timber industry. So
just open the barn door slowly so it doesn't blow it all away.
There you go.
So wait, so your dad's in the timber industry now?
He is.
So he's not in the...
Well, he was never like I said. He was never just a moonshiner. Just like my grandfather. My dad gets up and he was doing this when he was a moonshiner, but he's not a moonshiner anymore. But my dad and my grandfather, they were getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they would work all day until late at night. My dad wakes up at 4:30, and I see him at 6:30 in the evening. He works all day, and he's just a tireless workers, and that's what he got that from my grandfather.
Absolutely, that is really great. We are here with Elsie May from Clyde May's Whiskey, and we have to take a short break. When we come back, well, we're going to taste some whiskey. You know why? Because it's delicious. More great things coming right here on KMA Talk Radio. Don't forget the Insane Asylum will be here at the end of the show. It's another wacky one. Till we come back, keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
Nestor Miranda has always believed it's not just cigars, it's a lifestyle. And the Nestor Miranda collection is handmade at My Father Cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua for your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if you're smooth like the Connecticut, mellow as a Habano, bold like the Maduro, or spicy like the all-new Corojo. The Nestor Miranda collection is blended with your lifestyle in mind. 4 sizes, 4 blends, 1 life. Celebrate your lifestyle with the cigars of the Nestor Miranda collection today.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit sindicato.com.
Monitor 3 humidors at once from one simple device. Caring for your cigars is easy with the new PuroTemp wireless hygrometer from Cigars. You now have the ability to monitor the humidity and temperature in 3 humidors without even having to open them. Ensure protection by setting simple alerts that will warn you when your cigars are not in the optimal environment. Like everything Cigars, this is backed by their lifetime warranty. Stop by your local tobacconist to purchase yours today. Cigars for life.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, America's Bagel King, Honest Abe.
Why, yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. And we are here with Richard Lewis and Elsie May from Clyde Mays Whiskey. And we were talking about the history of Clyde Mays before we went to the break. Elsie, the grandson of Clyde Mays himself, the son of a moonshiner, grandson of a moonshiner. Elsie, thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys. It's a lot of fun to hop on and talk about my grandfather anytime, man. It's a pleasure to do it.
So what we have in front of us here is the Clyde Mays Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the Alabama-style whiskey, the 110, and the 9-year. So which is your personal favorite?
I get that question all the time, and really each one serves its own purpose. It really depends on your palate and what you like and everything like that, and they can all do many different things. But I personally, I'm a little bit biased towards the original Alabama-style whiskey because when this company got started years ago, that was it. That was the one we had. We didn't have these other products. They were still aging, and we had not yet expanded our portfolio. So that's the one that kind of got all this started and got it kicked off. So I'm a bit biased towards the original Alabama-style 85 proof whiskey.
Adam's pouring growlers over here.
Come on now. This is what you do.
Well, you got to pour extra because Abe, your wife, is telling us that she wants you to bring some home for her. She tried it. She tried it at the Great Smoke, and she loves it. She said.
There you go.
Oh, I will tell you. I've gone through a few bottles of this
myself. How are you talking to my wife, by the way?
This got weird.
Yeah.
I need to have communication.
I see she's watching the show, but she hasn't posted that she wants. Where did you get this information from?
Would it be weird if she texted me?
No, just start paying some of the bills. I could care less.
No, she posted it. She posted it.
I'm all for that, man. Just send the check to my home or even my business. We're good.
She texts my wife, and then my wife texts me because
is
they're
that
BFFs.
what it is? Is that the correct?
No, she posted on Facebook Facebook Live.
I didn't see it.
Hey, cheers, Elsie.
Cheers. Salud.
Alabama.
Alabama. Aren't you glad you stuck around?
George is sitting in the corner there. George Rico's still with us.
George heard whiskey, and he was like, oh, absolutely, got to stick around for that. Oh, every time. It's so clean and refreshing, and it doesn't have any of that whiskey burn you get from a lot of these high-proof bourbons. It's just a very clean. Now, I know Richard mentioned last time he was here about the distillery, and you guys have gotten the distillery project going. When is the distillery going to open, and when can we start seeing product coming through?
There's still a lot of everyday day-to-day things that are being worked out. We can't exactly pinpoint an exact date of when the doors will open, but here in the next couple months we will break ground, and then from there it just depends because, a lot of people don't realize what all has to go into this. You have to get your certain licenses, and then, it takes several months just to build the still alone that makes the product. Yep. So, However, once it is built and once it is finished, our youngest product will be 5 years old, or our youngest product is 5 years old, so almost immediately we will begin bottling in Troy, Alabama, so we'll be able to say bottled in Alabama, and then soon after that, some of the barrels we have, we can say that, they were aged or finished aging in Alabama, so it'll be aged and bottled in Alabama, and then after, the distillery's up and running and making its own product, after about the 5-year point, you'll start seeing some product that was made, aged, and bottled in Alabama.
Now, I'm just curious, what defines or what makes it an Alabama whiskey?
So what makes it an Alabama-style whiskey is what my grandfather used to do. So when he aged his moonshine in those oak barrels I was mentioning earlier, he would add oven-dried apple slices to the barrel at the very end of the aging process.
That's the sweetness I'm tasting.
It's sweetness is a word I don't really like to use.
It's not sweet. You're right. It's not sugary sweet.
It's more soft and delicate and approachable is the way I view it. But he did that. He added those oven-dried apple slices not for flavor but for finish. He did it to make it smoother. That's why our products across the board, including the bourbon, that even though the bourbon doesn't have the hint of Alabama style, even though it doesn't, all of our products, the high proofs, everything, they're all very smooth. We pride ourselves on quality and smoothness, because anything short of that would just be an insult to my grandfather, so we make sure we meet those standards.
Absolutely. Now, you guys came out with the 9-year last year,
Yes.
And when Richard was here last time, he was telling us that the 10-year is already in the barrel, just waiting. So when are we going to see the 10-year rolling out?
The 10-year is actually in the state of Florida right now. I mean, it hasn't hit shelves yet, but it's in the state of Florida.
You're holding out on me, Richard?
Yeah. Nope. Richard is our Florida state manager, so he can speak more to, more exact dates of maybe when it'll start getting shipped out from the warehouse and everything like that. But
Can I get directions to the warehouse after this is over?
We just want to visit, just check it out.
I just want to stop by, maybe just, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I could stop by. It is in Florida right now. It will be available in the next in a few stores out there. Total Wine, ABC, and it is a 10-year-old and is a little bit different. It's 114 proof.
Ooh.
Same price as last year's retail, $99.99.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, I get the understanding of like the whiskeys and the wines where the age
just pull out some
increases the value of the product. Make it a little. I got to drive 4 kids home. It increases the value, right? He's pouring me like growlers. It's still too much. I know. I just want to taste it. We got a couple more.
Oh yeah.
I get where it increases the value. I'm curious, what exactly happens to the whiskey over time, flavor-wise, or what's the expectations on what you hope it produces?
In and out of the barrel.
What you get, where the flavor comes from, when you are drinking a bourbon and you smell that bourbon and you get hints of, let's just say, vanilla,
right,
or something like that. That doesn't mean vanilla was added. In fact, that is quite the opposite. For it to be called bourbon, you can only add grain, wood, and water for it to continue. That's it. So where that flavor comes from is the charred oak barrel. So inside the barrel, you char it, and when you char oak, it crystallizes, and that crystallization is sugar, and that's where those flavors are coming from. It's natural flavors coming from the oak wood barrel, and then over time, winter, summer, the barrel expands and comes back, and that's what allows it to really get its flavors going. And there's different chars. There's chars 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Now, when you say char, you're actually burning it.
Yes, you're actually, and there's different ways to char it. They actually have like a torch.
They toast them.
But the Coopersmith does that, right? Do you guys do it?
I mean, the cooperage normally. It really just depends on the operation, how big of an operation you have. I know there's distilleries that have their own barrels that do their own thing, and then there's. Normally though the cooperage will do that themselves, but that's where the flavor comes from. And like I said, there's different. The highest char you can have is what's called a char 4, and that's what's also known as the alligator char, because you char it so much the inside of the barrel looks like alligator skin.
Wow.
And then you have a char 1, which is the lowest. We actually use a char 4 because it's bringing out more of that natural flavor, which naturally makes it a smoother and cleaner product.
So the longer time it sits in the barrel, the more those flavors incorporate into the whiskey.
And it literally goes into the wood brings out the flavor, and with the heat and the cold, depending on the season, it goes in and out of the wood, and that is where a lot of the flavor comes from.
And the crazy thing is, too, a lot of times, because if you look at these barrel warehouses, where you stack the barrel and where it is how high up it is, the altitude of where the barrel is actually also affects how the whiskey ages as well.
Really?
Good point, Adam.
One floor can make a difference.
Really?
One floor can make a difference in how it tastes and everything. And, they have to rotate the barrels, and how often you rotate them can make a difference. I mean, it really is a science. That's why these master distillers that make this product, it's more than just, throwing some liquor in a barrel and letting it sit there for 10 years or however long. There is a science behind this to make this product taste how it tastes.
What are we drinking now?
This is the 9-year. This is the 9-year that came out last fall, July, right?
Actually, May.
May?
Ooh.
Yeah.
A little more heat than the...
117
Alabama.
proof there.
Alabama!
Wait, I just lost some hair on my chest.
Yeah.
And you just grew some somewhere else.
Ooh.
117 proof, but it is so
That's
good.
the gift I gave to the dads at my wedding. So my father-in-law, my stepfather-in-law, and my dad, to thank them for all their help during the wedding, we gave them the 9-year.
Mm.
And they love it.
Oh, I need to sober up already.
It's a higher proof because it's bottled at cask strength, and for anyone who doesn't know what that essentially means it's not cut with water to lower the proof or anything. That's why cask strengths are normally, or barrel strengths, either word doesn't matter.
But people like that burn.
Oh, absolutely.
They love that fire.
That's
now, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, coming from an expert now, rocks or neat?
For me, it depends on the type of whiskey.
Really?
That's what it is. Now, if I'm going to suggest it to someone, always try it neat first. Always.
But taste it.
Yeah, exactly. But depending on what type it is, I normally, I actually like not rocks like several ice cubes, but I prefer the big rock. They make the big
the ice balls.
Because it melts a lot slower, and a lot of times that slow melting of the ice, that little bit of water will allow even more flavors to open up as you're drinking.
That's why I heard that a little bit of the ice or the water will open up a whiskey.
Right.
So it does.
Single drop of distilled water into your just
with a dropper.
A single drop.
Really?
Boom.
But that's really more of a drinker's preference, because you can't go wrong either way, neat or on the rocks. Now, you have to be careful, though, because if you put too many rocks in, it's going to melt really fast, and then it's just going to be a watered-down mess.
Nobody wants a diluted whiskey.
Exactly. So.
Got it.
Well, and that's part of, a lot of people, they see, and I'm not just talking about our whiskey, I'm talking about from the, from the industry as a whole. People see these older whiskeys and they're like, why do older whiskeys cost more? And it's the longer it's in the barrel, the more that evaporates, which is known as the angel share, because the evaporation's going to the angels or whatever for them. But so
they actually made a cigar called Angel Share.
Yeah.
Based on that.
Is that why the 9-year, when it goes to 10-year, is a lower proof?
That can affect. So it just really depends on the barrel and how it's aged and everything like that. But this year's is a lower proof because it was in there a year longer, and just how it was aged, the proof went down a touch. But it's still going to be a cask strength whiskey, so it's not going to be cut with water or anything like that. But what I'm excited about is it's going to stay the same price point as the 9-year-old. So we're not even though it's a year older, and when we pulled it out of the barrel, I mean, I don't know how much is evaporated across I mean, you can tell a bigger difference between 5 and 10 years, obviously, but from 9 to 10, I don't know what the difference might be, but still, it was more of a reward for, to our consumers, because we started out at an 8-year-old, and that was kind of the introduction of, here's our cask strength, and then we did a 9, and now this is our 3rd year doing it, and it's become a lot more well established, and everybody's starting to hear about it and seek it out. So that's keeping the price point the same, in my opinion, was hey, tip of the hat to you guys for coming back and enjoying our whiskey.
Sure. Absolutely. We're going to have more with the Clyde Mays whiskey when we come back and see who belongs in a Cigar Insane Asylum. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too!
Yes, it's mandatory.
This is Eric Espinoza, and over the years, many cigar aficionados have enjoyed my highly rated brands, 601, Murcielago. In the spirit of continuing improvement, I have purchased my own factory, La Zona, enriched and fertile tobacco region of Esteli, Nicaragua. After almost 2 decades in the cigar industry, I have created a brand I finally feel is worthy of my name. Espinosa cigars are made with only the finest tobaccos, hand-selected and aged to perfection. Our cigars are bold in flavor, yet refined to the palate. For more information, visit EspinosaCigars.com.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit sindicato.com.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
Mike Bellady has collaborated with industry legends Don Pepin Garcia, Manuel Quesada, and Ernesto Perez Carrillo to make some of the industry's most highly touted cigars. Through his company, MLB Cigars, Mike brings you 4 incredible and unique blends. Imperia, Imperia Islero, Imperia Aventador, and the David P. Ehrlich Tremont. MLB Cigars are made with the best minds in the industry at world-renowned factories using the finest tobacco. Visit us at MLB Cigar Ventures and follow us on social media. Imperia and David P. Ehrlich Cigars. Developed by legends, smoked by connoisseurs.
Quality and value are always the 2 biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit SindicatoCigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Hey fools, how about a game of Cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're gonna need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way: taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. It's amazing how fast 2 hours flies by when you're having fun. With me, of course, Honest Abe. And why do people keep trying to call me? Don't they know I'm on the radio?
No.
They never do.
They really don't.
And we are here with L.C. May, grandson of Clyde Mays, and Richard Lewis from Clyde Mays Whiskey.
So what does L.C. stand for?
Lewis Clyde May. My grandfather was Lewis Clyde May. I'm Lewis Clyde May.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that would have been information that I should have given you. I didn't know that, actually.
Well, I mean,
because you don't do your job. Dead giveaway. What it comes down to, really.
He was Lewis Clyde May, and he went by Clyde, his middle name. And then I don't know what. I mean, when I was younger, they just started calling me LC, so it stuck. But
did Daddy Billy have a middle name?
My dad's name is actually William Henry May, and he goes by Billy.
Billy Henry May.
Yeah.
WHM.
WHM.
That works. So we briefly were kind of mentioning before we came on, like, obviously the 10 years coming out in the next week or so, and, well, obviously George has been...
And I want to mention, I don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry. We talked about the 10-year-old Alabama style that's coming out. That's already in the warehouses, as Richard mentioned, but we also have more new products coming out this year.
Funny. That's where I was trying to go.
I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
No. That's exact. You trust me.
We're on the same level.
You and I
here.
are on the same thing. That was my question.
Don't insult yourself.
He's got a point there. All right. Anyway, so are there plans to expand the lines? Are you guys looking at doing other projects? What do you guys have in the works that's going to put Clyde Mays further on the map and further put the footprint that you guys have built so far?
Well, later in the summer, we're going to introduce actually another 10-year-old, but instead of a 10-year-old cask strength Alabama style, which is the one we've been talking about, by the way, that's the one that's going to be 114 proof. It's going to be a 10. That's the one that's already in the warehouse. It's a 10-year-old Alabama style whiskey that's about to be released in stores. But later this summer, we're going to release the Alabama. Later, and feel free to speak up, Richard.
Don't
be shy. They can see you here.
Very unusually quiet. This interview.
I'm stealing his thunder, but we're releasing a 10-year-old straight bourbon cask strength that does not have the Alabama style. So that'll be released later in the summer. In addition to, we are releasing, which is something that I get asked all the time, and people have been very patient for that. I thank you. But we are also releasing later this summer a rye whiskey.
Ooh. Now, I've been saying for at least 3 years now, rye is going to be the next thing that is taking over and makes a big leap.
Right.
Because there was a Scotch Renaissance in the early aughts, mid-90s. Then the Japanese started buying up all the Scotch, and no one could buy any Scotch anymore because it was priced out.
Right.
So everybody moved to bourbon, and became a bourbon renaissance.
Right.
And now everyone's on this bourbon renaissance. And pretty soon, bourbon's going to become harder to find, and quality bourbons that were at a reasonable price, at an everyday price, are going to get jacked up because they can only make so much and have to age it as long.
Right.
So the next thing that's going to happen is rye is going to come up and be the big thing.
Well, rye is pretty hot right now. I mean, it's maybe not as hot as bourbon. I don't know, statistically what those numbers are.
Okay.
They're both
try that one.
They're both pretty popular products as it is, but with our rye whiskey, or not just with our rye whiskey, with our whole portfolio period, you can't rush into these things, and that's what my grandfather was all about. You can't rush the process. It's kind of like with the whiskey, with our distillery. If you're not going to do something right, don't do it at all. Don't bother. And that was my, I'm not going to say that was my grandfather's motto. It's not like he walked around and said it, but mentally that's how he lived his life. So with our rye whiskey, we've had it and we aged it, and we wanted to make sure it was a quality product before we released it to the masses. We're not just going to, okay, rye's hot right now, let's hurry up and get it out there. If it's got to meet our standard. It's got to meet our quality. So it's going to be released later in the summer, and when it does, I think it's going to be something that everyone is very pleased with, just like the rest of our products.
I'm sure they will be.
I'm already chomping at the bit.
There you go. I am too, trust me.
Absolutely. So, hey, salute. Thank you, LC. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Guys, always
Thank you for having me.
That's the 110 I just gave you. So this is the 110.
Oh, yeah. Insane Asylum.
It's also Alabama style. I call it the older brother of the 85 proof because it's higher proof, a little bit older.
Right. And so now let's see this week who belongs in a Cigar Insane Asylum.
Welcome to the Cigar Asylum,
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
where logic and reason cease to exist.
All right, brought to you this week by the fine folks of CLE and Asylum Cigars. And before I hit the Insane Asylum, I just got to ask, because I've been looking at them all show, what's with the hot pink headphones?
Rudy said it's the only ones he could find.
Really?
And
Did you take
and he's
him-
secure in his masculinity.
Did you take him from like your 8-year-old daughter this morning on your way to work? I mean, Rudy's like this big football guy here, and he's got these bright pink headphones on. All right, this week's Insane Asylum. Well, this inductee decided to do what I do every week and show my wife who's the boss. A man in she's listening to. A man in Western Russia was spotted wearing nothing but underpants and a necklace and a gun slung over his back in minus 4 degree weather. He was filmed racing through a snowy forest after his wife hid his clothes to stop him from hunting. Yes. When another man spotted the bizarre sight, he took out his camera and filmed the man approaching before he stopped him and asked why he was naked. The man said his wife had tried to stop him from leaving the house to hunt for wolves by hiding his clothes, so he decided to go hunting naked. When the shocked person filming offered him a coat, the man declined, saying that he was happy to continue without one because it is spring and the sun was shining. He stood up to his wife and all men everywhere, "Congratulations, Mr. Russian Hunter. You are this week's inductee into the Cigar Insane Asylum."
Dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
Brought to you by Celian Asylum Cigars. That is the Cigar Insane Asylum. Oh, wow. It's been a crazy show.
Good show.
Absolutely. Special thanks to George Rico.
We had a little old history, a little older history.
He's enjoying his whiskey. He's glad he's
He's happy.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's loving it.
You better eat another bagel before you hit the road.
Thanks to LC May, Richard Lewis. Richard, I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon. Especially when the 10 years. Yeah, just let me know.
Now, where are you heading? Are you in Florida for a while, then going to other regions?
I'm about to head to the airport after this, and then I'll be in Chicago and Wisconsin next week.
My home base, Chicago.
I'll fly
Great town.
Yeah, I've been there.
It'll be cold.
Times.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Well, so also, just confirm, because Richard was telling me that Clyde Mays is the fastest growing whiskey in the U.S.
According to Nielsen, we're the fastest growing whiskey in the United States. We're the only whiskey growing triple digits. So.
Wow.
Are you worried about ever running low or production faltering?
With this kind of stuff, you got to forecast. You have to forecast for success, and I think our success has come at a faster rate than maybe even we expected, but I'm happy to say that we have some of the smartest guys in the industry that know what they're doing and can kind of handle any kind of maybe shortage we may or may not have, but we have forecasted for this success, so moving forward I don't think that'll be an issue at all. Like I said, our employees know what they're doing, and it's kind of like the farmer's insurance commercial. They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Well said. Thank you so much, LC. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Richard.
Thank you.
Next week, Yadi Gonzalez Vargas from Florida Gonzalez Cigars. Until then, and as always, keep it lit.
Awarded the 2014 Nicaraguan Cigar of the Year with numerous 90-plus ratings, the Perdomo 20th Anniversary Cigar celebrates Tabacalera Perdomo's 20 years as one of Nicaragua's largest premium cigar manufacturers. Using only the highest priming tobaccos grown exclusively